This is your blind techno geek that explores iOS and Android and other forms of tech. And today I'm going to show you what is on my Blindshell phone. So I'm going to unlock the phone by pressing and holding the star key. Guys, there's a ton of tutorials out there for this phone, so I'm not going to show you how to actually use the phone. I would suggest going to Blindshell's YouTube channel itself. Sam is very good at what he does, and definitely shout out to him for basically inspiring me to get this phone, and shout out to Laz from talkingmp3players.com. I've been buying a lot of stuff from them lately, and this was one of my purchases. So I'm just pressing and holding. I have the Nigerian voice. Let me turn this up really quickly.
5, 6, 7.
Okay. So,
Voice recorder, 7 of 10.
hold on. It's actually on my favorite apps, so I'm going to go back so I can go to the main menu.
4 new notifications. It's
I have no idea if any of you guys can see the screen here. Okay, that's good enough.
Call, 1 of 7.
So we've got call, of course, everything that's supposed to be on a phone.
Messages, 2 of 7.
Messages.
Contacts, 3 of 7.
Contacts. I am so sorry about the Nigerian voice. I'm just going to translate for you.
Applications, 4 of 7.
Under applications, this is where you're going to find all your apps, and they automatically are in folders.
Internet browser, 1 of 10.
Except for the internet browser. That's like one of the ones that are not. That is like not in a folder.
Tools, 2 of 10.
Let's see what is in our tools folder here. I'm going to press the confirm button.
1 of 10.
Alarm is the first thing, of course, obviously, if you want to wake up. Or sometimes I use it for, like, I have to take my medicine.
Calculator, 2 of 10.
Calculator is definitely self-explanatory.
Calendar, 3 of 10.
So is calendar, absolutely. The calendar is kind of odd in this particular phone because you have to do 24-hour time. But it'll automatically translate into 12-hour time for you, just in case you're not used to 24-hour time and you mess it up.
Flashlight, 4 of 10.
Flashlight is self-explanatory, except it makes a heck of a lot of noise. Listen to this.
Flashlight on.
I mean, how much noise do you gotta make on a flashlight? Except I'm probably just causing glare going on here. But yeah, no, it just makes a whack ton of noise, and I just don't understand why they made it make a lot of noise. Maybe it was for the people that were, like, completely visually impaired, and that, you know, if they're manning a flashlight for a sighted person that's looking for something, maybe that's understandable, but that noise is just, ugh, it just grates on me. It's fine when you're using the voice assistant. I don't even know what this screen reader is called, to be honest. It's fine when you're using the screen reader. I think it's just called screen reader. But, you know, because it's actually the navigation sounds, but it is absolutely not fine to have it on a flashlight. I'm sorry. I'm off my soapbox now.
Minute timer, 5 of 10.
Minute timer is definitely self-explanatory.
Notes, 6 of 10.
What did
Minute
it say?
timer, notes, 6 of 10.
I think that said notes, and that's also very self-explanatory. It's definitely something that copied the iPhone.
Stopwatch, 7 of 10.
Stopwatch is definitely self-explanatory.
Unit converter, 8 of 10.
Unit converter. I've never had to use that, but if you are not from these parts, or if you go traveling to a part of the world that uses the opposite form of measurement, then that would probably be very helpful for you.
Voice recorder, 9 of 10.
Voice recorder is pretty self-explanatory. Maybe I'll give you guys a sample of an audio recording from that on my podcast, because in the podcast I actually promised some audio samples, so that'll probably be a good thing to explore, actually.
Weather, 10 of 10.
And weather is also very self-explanatory. I'm going to press the back button.
Tools, 2 of 10. Communication,
And go to
3 of 10.
communication. This is where this buttoned phone gets really cool.
Email, 1 of 5.
Of course, you got an email client.
Facebook Messenger, 2 of 5.
Facebook Messenger, guys. Oh my gosh. That is the coolest thing on a buttoned phone that has no touch screen. And the funny thing is, it does not make that pop ding sound that you're familiar with on the Facebook Messenger, and you can't really change the sounds. It just makes the default sound. So that's kind of unique, actually. I haven't been able to get the like button to work on it, nor have I been able to get the audio recording button to work on it, although they're there.
Skype light, 3 of 5.
Skype Lite instead of Skype. It's actually not something that I have used because nobody uses Skype anymore. But I put it on there because I was curious.
Telegram, 4 of 5.
Telegram is another cool one. In fact, Telegram deserves a movie all its own because it's completely different than on the iPhone and Android. They purposefully made it extremely accessible and I love it. Love it. I mean, like, if I had a favorite device to use Telegram on, it is this phone.
WhatsApp, 5 of 5.
And WhatsApp. Okay, so there are some bugs. There were a couple of bugs that I found with WhatsApp. The first couple of times that I used it, I wasn't getting notifications. And then also, it'll allow you to change the sound effect. And yet, when you get a notification, it'll still default to the default that you have in your device settings. So it's kind of really weird. But hey, I was able to get audio recordings to work, unlike Facebook Messenger. There's no like button in WhatsApp, so it's definitely not something I've tried. I haven't tried sending a photo yet through WhatsApp. Mainly I use it to use voice messages and to do just text messages to those that are living outside of the country. I've got a couple of friends who are living outside of the country. I've got some from Mexico. One from Mexico, a couple from Australia, New Zealand area. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Communication, 3 of 10. Media, 4 of 10.
Moving on to the media folder.
Camera, 1 of 9.
Camera's pretty self-explanatory and it makes the coolest sound in the world.
Orientation portrait.
That reminds me of a toy camera I used to have when I was a child. And we'll let me go back.
Camera, 1 of 9.
Okay.
FM radio, 2 of
FM
9.
radio I've not used just because I don't listen to the radio a lot. I'd prefer my own like Amazon Music to listen to.
Images, 3 of 9.
Images is where you can view your photos that you've taken, which I'll probably delete the one that I just took because it was pretty much of the office wall, which by the way is yellow. Yes, you can see the yellow wall.
Internet radio, 4 of 9.
Internet radio, yeah, I promise guys, that is not my stuff. This is my dad's stuff in this office, but over in the corner, which I'm not going to show you, is my work area that I use at my job.
Images, 3 of internet radio, 4 of
Internet
9.
radio is sort of kind of like Blindshell's version of like Pandora, Spotify. You know what? It might even be radio stations. I'm just not quite sure because I've really never used it. So that may deserve a video all of its own.
Music player, 5 of 9.
Music players, pretty self-explanatory. You can download MP3 files to this phone, which I have not tried. And I also just bought a Talking Benji TG lossless player. So I'm going to be using that for my music. I don't want to be filling up my phone because I'd rather have bunches and bunches of apps on my phone instead of music and media. So
Podcast player, 6 of 9.
podcast player is also pretty self-explanatory. That's not something that I'm going to use either just because I don't want to fill up my phone with podcasts, even though I can actually use a SD card. Eventually I may get one, but I'm definitely probably going to keep podcasts on my Benji.
Shazam, song recognition, 7 of 9.
Shazam, for some reason, I've not been able to get to work as well. Like, I tried to Shazam a song when I was out at a restaurant the other night, and it just was not working, so... It was like one of those Afrobeat songs. I love Afrobeats. Oh my gosh, like, it's like my favorite genre of music right now.
Media, 4 of 10.
And yes, that sounds kind of odd coming from a person of my color, but I have a lot of friends who are African, as well as, I don't know what the term for Americans who are not my color, but
Books,
it's
5 of 10.
actually just, I have a lot of respect for them. Just to let you guys know. So,
Book reader, 1 of 2.
in the book reader, that's where you download books from.
iBuybox, 2 of 2.
LibriVox, which the Nigerian accent completely pronounces incorrectly. So, I've downloaded 4 books right now, although I am looking into getting a Victor Reader Trek.
Books, 5 of 10.
But so far, this has worked pretty well as a book player. And again, because they're adding more apps on the app catalog, which I'll show you as well, I just want to be able to fill this phone up with apps more.
Games, 6 of 10.
Games, let's see what's here.
Dice roller, 106.
Dice Roller is literally just that. It's a simple dice rolling game. And I have it
Roll a
set
die.
to
102.
an 80-sided die.
13. 41. 26. Roll a die. 102.
Okay.
Roll a die. 1. Dice roller.
Back to
106.
it.
Hangman. 206.
Hangman I've not tried yet, but it's definitely pretty self-explanatory.
Mau Mau. 306.
Mau Mau is a card game. Basically, it's like Uno, except you have to play, it's played with regular playing cards, you know, clubs, spades, diamonds, hearts, all that stuff. So basically, if you lay down a card, the computer opponent, which you play against a computer opponent, you cannot play against a real person, they have to lay down either the same color or the same suit, just like in Uno.
Memory game. 406.
Memory game is pretty self-explanatory. I've not really tried it yet, so I can't really tell you much about it anyway.
Simon. 506.
Simon is self-explanatory, and I swear, every single game hub for the visually impaired except RS Games and like Dice World have like Simon. So like that's a hugely popular one. I know Audio Game Hub has one for the iPhone, and so does oh, and that app's available on Android as well. And so does Game World for the iPhone, and that's definitely not available on Android.
Wumpus. 606.
Wumpus is a game where you have to walk through a labyrinth and beat the monster at the end. I have not tried it yet.
Games. 6 of 10. Vision aids. 7 of 10.
Vision Aid, let's see.
Be My Eyes. 1
Be
of 8.
My Eyes. This is absolutely interesting because they made me create a new account instead of signing into my old one. It did not give the option to create an account, so I did end up making a new account for Be My Eyes. So hopefully I can sign in on both devices. If not, I'll just use one for one phone and one for the other phone.
Beepers. 2 of 8.
Beepers are basically like tiles. You gotta buy them separately though. They're a little more expensive than tiles, but you can find your things. They're little square-shaped devices, and I absolutely recommend you watch Sam's video on the Blindshell channel about the beepers because they're pretty cool. They even tried to copy the tile tune, so if you listen carefully, you'll definitely hear that.
Color indicator. 3 of 8.
Color indicator, I've never trusted any form of color indicator, so I'm not trying this one either, to be honest. I'm actually going to be identifying my clothes a different way.
Google Lookout. 4 of 8.
Google Lookout, I've not tried on this phone yet, but I definitely have it on here just in case I need it.
Localization. 5 of 8.
Localization, I believe, is a GPS. I was kind of disappointed in the accuracy of it.
Ready.
Oh no, I just opened it. Oops. Let me go back.
Magnifying glass. 6 of 8.
Magnifying glass is not something that I need due to my vision. I only have light acuity and some shadows and definitely color contrast, but that's about it. That is, by the way, why red is my favorite color. I got a red iPhone 13. I forgot to show you the red in this phone, so here we go. Showing you the back of this phone here.
NFC object tagging.
NFC object tagging, this actually came in the box with I think three NFC tags. I've not tried to use them yet, but I also recommend that you watch Sam's video on these tags. That's pretty cool as well.
QR object tagging. 8 of 8.
QR object tagging, I've not tried yet either. I don't really know how to use it, to be honest. So, I'm sure that Sam will or has come out with a video with it, so.
Vision aids. 7 of 10. Hobby. 8 of 10.
In the hobby section,
Metronome. 1 of 1.
I only have a metronome. I did ask them for a ukulele tuner because I play ukulele and they only have a guitar tuner here.
Hobby. 8 of 10.
In the app catalog in the hobby section.
Shopping. 9 of 10.
In shopping, the only app that they have is the old familiar
Amazon Shopping. 1 of 1.
Amazon Shopping.
Shopping. 9 of 10.
That app runs slightly slow, but definitely not as slow as it runs on my Braille Note Touch.
App catalog. 10 of 10.
And of course, we have the app catalog, which is basically when you go through go to all packages, it's divided into the same categories. So, people, that is what is on my Blindshell. Let me go ahead and power off by pressing and holding down that start button again. I feel vibration and hear a sound. So, thanks for watching. See you later, Technogators.